Yo, YouTube, it's Aeghis. In today's video, I'm covering the comp Mage Holy Priest in 2v2. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite comps to play in 2s. It's actually just really fun to try and land cross CC with MC rings, you know, DB sheeps into DB, or like pre-sheeps into DB rings. There's so many different ways that you can get CC, and that's part of why it is so enjoyable to play, I guess, because it's similar to Rogue Mage. In a sense, where you're killing in goes, but it's played quite differently, but you get the same feeling. So it's a very fun comp to play. I would recommend trying it if you haven't tried it already. And anyways, let's start the video. Okay, so this is the first match. It's against Warrior R Shaman. So I'm running Disciplinary into pretty much everything as this comp. I think some comps that you wouldn't is, for example, I think against Rogue Mage you should wear Triune. I think against DH Arsham I personally think that you should use Triune. And then I'm trying to think of what else. Anything with a Mage, personally I think anything with a DH, you can get away with it into like Resto Shaman and then like a DPS who doesn't have Purge, for like this for example. But if it's double Purge with the Resto Shaman, probably just put Triune on. So first thing I notice here is it's an alliance team, right? So this guy's actually going to sit 4-second stuns, which is very good. So as this comp, I think we want to kill the Shaman here because it's easier to kill a Shaman than it is to kill a Warrior. And that's our goal here, so let's see. I tell my priest to pre-fear, which is kind of an ambitious task. Because the warrior can just like slow the priest. He could pre-tremor it because shamans have tremor totem. He actually has to get to the shaman, but this is what an ideal setup should look like, or in, you know, somewhere in the realm of this. So we get the pre-fair and the DB, right? Remember, we're killing the shaman, so this is pre-CC. We are going to stun this guy and destroy him off this. And he can't press any buttons to save himself unless he trinkets. So I just DB sheep the warrior. That's what you're doing most of the time as the mage, is you're always DBing into sheep on the off target most of the time. Drop the meteor. I get PI. Disciplinary is procced. And drop the meteor. It's time to do the Tinder, Fireball, Bust, Double Fire Blast, Pyro. One shot setup. There it is. He almost dies, barely survives. He gets the grounding totem off. Eye shifting. So that was a successful go. I blink backwards because now I care more about setting myself up good positionally for their go. I'm not trying to extend ours. So I make it kind of annoying for them. I put myself between, like they're here, I'm here, and my healer's over here. So I'm putting myself between them so that they can't really touch him. They have to go through me first. He grips me, which is fine. Now we're out in the open, which can make it a little difficult to get CC on this guy because he can just play around a pillar. But we'll see what happens here. So I opt to blink away, and what's really good about this is you can see my priest is actually farming Chastise right now, just farming Chastise, and that's why I opt to sit back there for that entire time. So now I'm looking to try to get pre-CC on this shaman. So I'm looking to do that first. I try to bait kicks with Ring of Frost. I get one kick. I blink sheep. He could have sheared it or grounded it, but he didn't, so it's fine. And one thing I do in this situation, instead of just switching the sheep here and hoping he stuns at the exact same time I switch it, I opt to just Ring of Frost instead. This also procs Disciplinary, so it saves you a global, and lets you pre-set up Meteor as well, because if I would have just switched it, he would have had to stun at the exact time, so that's really good. Pre-set up Meteor, then we stun. Warrior trinkets early to save, which is really good by him. There's no chance of us killing through. That's typically how teams should respond if they respect your damage, but so we immediately know that that go was well stopped, so we're just going to the next one. Trying to survive here, set up well positionally. This is a bit weird positioning because he's stuck in a root right here, my healer. So he's kind of just getting free CC'd by the shaman. I think he got like rooted into hex, which is, you know, obviously some disruption. I'm getting railed. Let's see what happens here. I'm trying to get pre. Okay, so I'm actually gonna back that up just a second. You can see I get kicked. First thing I'm looking at here, boom, boom, boom. No kick, no reflect, no shear. Only thing they have is grounding, right? So I know that my only chance of this poly getting stopped is ground. So I come into the cast. He just lets it go off. Do the same thing here. DB ring. Meteor. Bust. He's dead. So that's game number 1. Let's just go right into game number 2. Alright, so this is the next game. You can see we're checking out the talents. We're running the same exact build into this. Let's see. We're fighting Warlock, Arsham. So you can see I have 1 barrier. I'm opting to play Disciplinary into this as well. I'm checking out, okay, it's a horde team. I looked at which racial each of them had. So I realized that the Sham is an orc. So we have to be aware that our stun will be 3 seconds on him. I tell Clay that I want to kill the Shaman here because the Warlock is way harder to kill than the Shaman for a couple reasons. He has Dark Pact. He has Unending Resolve. There's a lot of reasons why this Warlock is very tanky. The Shaman is way easier to kill because all he has is like wall and grounding, and he has to trinket to use both of those. Whereas if we went to Warlock, we would get like Unending Resolve one go, and then we would get like Dark Pact another go, and we wouldn't get trinkets. And getting trinkets is what wins us the game. So let's see how this plays out. Looks like Clay is actually able to get a double fear. The lock actually trinkets too, so this is really like he trinketed something that isn't a stun. So what we could actually just do right here is stun him and kill him. Since I locked him out, he couldn't Dark Pact, or like since I locked him on fear, he's actually like he can't press any buttons. So we actually could have just stunned him and killed him right here, but I didn't really see that, I guess, at the time. So what I do instead is lock him out into sheep, and we want to stick to our original plan of going shaman. So you can see during my sheep, I actually am spamming Frost Nova. This is very important on how to proc Disciplinary. So sheep, you can see it right here. I've already hit Nova. It's lit up. So I Nova, and that procs my Disciplinary. As you can see there, I have PI and Disciplinary. I'm about to drop the Meteor Combust. Oh, okay, let's see. Almost dies through because he didn't use Trinket Ground. I feel like that is the best response for them. So at this point I'm in peel mode. Clay just fades, so it's the first thing I notice is that for this engagement, Clay does not have fade. Clay's my healer, by the way. Okay, so I skipped ahead a little bit. So in this situation, one thing I'm trying to do, and the first thing you want to realize when you're trying to set up each go, right? So we just got done a go. I was debating getting pre-CC. One thing I'm looking for, as soon as I notice this guy's chastised and his DRs are off, so I'm like, okay, we can do our go. I'm trying to get some sort of pre on the shaman. So since I know in my head that this is like what I need to do, I need to aim pre-CC on the shaman. The first thing I want to do is look at what exactly do they have to stop that pre-sheep. So I'm looking here and he has no grounding. I know to look there because I know that that's where this is where I check if there's grounding. You know, your guys' UI, you should start to feel really comfortable about like immediately knowing where to look. Like, okay, I want to pre-CC the shaman. He has no grounding. So as soon as I see that, I look down here and I see kicks. So lock has no kick here, and then the shaman I know has kick because I don't see his wind shear right here. So I know he has kick. So I try to juke it a couple times as soon as I get out of this juke, and then I just commit on the second one. Sometimes it's not even worth juking. I say this as I would consider myself, I try to juke quite often. Like sometimes I will stand there and cast something like 5 times in a row and juke it. There are situations where that is good, and there are situations where just committing to the cast is also good. I recommend playing around with that into some games. And one thing you should do is you should notice patterns. Like, you should notice the shaman's kicking pattern. Like, if he kicks early in his cast or late in his cast. If he kicks late, sometimes you can just commit to a cast and he'll think you're gonna fake it, but really you just get it off. So I get the pre-CC, right? Now we need something on this guy, because remember, this guy, we're gonna go him off this and kill him. So this is pre. Now, as soon as we get this, we need to look to CC the Warlock. That is priority number 1. So first thing I look at, Clay. No fear. And we need the Chastise for the stun to kill him, right? So I know that getting this CC is on me. That's the first thing I realize. So now that I know it's on me, I look at my mobility. I have Knife A and a Blink and DB. So I can easily just DB Sheep. Blink DB Sheep. Actually, I ring to proc Disciplinary. That's really, really good that I saw this. What this also does is it allows 2 seconds of a pre-poly. So my priest doesn't have to stun right away. I can blink over there, put meteor down, and then he stuns, right? So all the damage is happening at once. That's another really good reason to ring. There are lots of good reasons to land this ring. Just keep in mind that you can't do this to like healers who are wearing Sefus, like Disc Priest most of the time. Or if for some reason this target is relentless. Anyways. So he waits for me to stun. That is something that is so crucial. You can see, I'll just show you one more time. He doesn't stun right away, right? He pre-casts the mind games and then stuns right off. Actually, he cancels it because he realizes that it would be too late. So that was an insane play by another other there. Then he casts the mind games. I put the meteor down, do the combust, tinder, bust, Fireblast, Fireblast, Pyroblast, Pyroblast. It's like essentially the most damage you can do. And obviously DC was procced from the ring. We didn't have PI for the go, which is like the only missing ingredient, but he still died. Okay, so I'm gonna end the video with those 2 comps. I might make another one, including a little bit more comp variety, such as like Resto Druids, or maybe Hunters or something. But I think that is a good start. It contained some basic tips on how to play Mage Holy Priest. Like I said, I might make another one. Anyways, for now, here is the raw games that you saw. Just so that I think it's important to include the raw games after, so that you can kind of watch it in real time and apply what you learned and see it happen and unfold in real time. So anyways, that's I'm gonna let that happen. I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace. Yes. Meat. Boom. No, I'm probably playing it wrong. Probably playing healer. Oh no, I'm not. I'm playing Seers. Let's see, Hoarder Alliance, they're playing Horde. Okay. Probably Shaman, bro. Sham. I think I can kill this goddamn Shaman. Pre-fear his ass. Okay, nice. I did really miss that beauty. This is big game on clay, like probably a death bolt incoming. Doesn't even have chats yet, so no point to start one first. Can try now. Be a shear or something. Got it. Well, oh shit. Okay, did that in the wrong order. Maybe just sphere that guy. Yeah, fuck it. Nice, late here. Games. Oh, okay. This was a bad go, but it's okay because it wasn't even bust, and we got some stuff. Miss kick too. Beautiful start. Here's me. Dude, that was an easy shear. Come on, boy. EB reading. It's a proc DC. Hopefully he waits for me to stun. Okay. Nice.